Hey, what's up? I'm CZ, and we're talking about having a faith that holds on. And one of the lies that we can believe that's a hindrance to this is if it's hard, I must be doing it wrong. In other words, if life is presenting challenges, there must be something wrong with how I'm trying to live it. It says in Romans chapter 5, verse 3 through 5. Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit. So, this is a very simple idea that has had profound meaning in my life personally. And my way to understanding it comes from something I love to do, which is running. Now, I know for some of you to say I love running, I probably lost you because you're going, I only run when somebody's chasing me. But I actually love to get out and run. It's beautiful for my mind, it clears my thoughts, for my heart, connecting to God. It's a beautiful time. Well, to go running basically is to voluntarily sign up for suffering. You choose to suffer on your own. Now, you might be wondering, why would you want to voluntarily suffer? Well, let's just take an example of saying, what if I wanted to run a race that was 5 miles long? But right now, I only can run 1 mile without stopping. So I'm going to need to figure out how to get better. So what I do is I voluntarily suffer. So guess what happens? My suffering that I choose to do in the running case leads to something called endurance, which means I'm now able to suffer better or longer. So when I suffer, I learn to suffer better. And because I learn to suffer better or longer, that endurance produces character. See, when you weather the storm of going and training and running and trying and building up, you begin to be a person that builds fortitude. You now have a story to tell. You can talk about how I went outside and I was running and it was snowy or it was so hot, and you're building up the ability to tell the story of your life through what you've experienced. And then it says that character produces hope. In the running analogy, it basically comes down to one day I'll be able to run a race that's 5 miles long when before I couldn't. That produces hope. Now, that example comes right down to what's true about our lives. All of us in this life experience suffering, and our suffering that we walk through produces our ability to suffer better. Our endurance grows. And because we're able to endure, we have character. We have a story to tell. Our life is shaped and formed in ways that wouldn't without the suffering. And then finally, because we see who we're becoming on the other side of our suffering season, it produces hope that while we were suffering, while we were working through the hard time, God was with us on the journey. And so we need to know that sometimes when things are hard, it's actually a time of forming and shaping and building up so that we can be the men and women that God created us to be here on earth.